It's Village Vice. I'm Zach Blackerby. He's Brad Law. And news coming out from the bye week earlier this week, the defensive lineman Mosiah Nasili Kite will be missing substantial time due to a bicep, which sounds, one, very painful. Two, this is already a defense that's banged up, Brad. And this now, you're going to need some younger guys to step up in his place.
Yeah, Mosiah Nasili Kite joins Austin Keys, joins Keontae Scott as starters from the defense, who will now not be available for a long period of time, if not the whole season. Maybe Austin comes back, but it's a big blow, and it means that you've got to have some of your younger players now step up. Now, it was Mosiah's first year in this system, but still, he's a guy who has 10 tackles through the first 5 games and a couple of quarterback hurries, half a sack. Definitely a guy who made an impact on that defensive front, and a front that does not quite yet have the depth that they want to develop there. There is a rotation. They're not paper thin, but, you get a little bit thinner now for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, there are dudes that could step in, right? Keldric Faulk's a big one. Marcus Harris, possibly, if you want to scoot Jason Jones to the 3 techniques. It's Rodgers has been getting more snaps at the nose. Maybe that allows him to kind of flex out. It also makes you bigger against run-heavy teams. Maybe you'll miss. That's part of what they want to do. But, Brad, I talked to Jason Jones, Auburn defensive tackle, earlier this morning. You mind hearing what he had to say about the injury?
Not only do I not mind, I would love to hear what he had to say.
Here's Jason Jones on Locked on Auburn. So we all saw the news earlier this week. Mosiah Nasili Kite, I believe they said it was his bicep. He's out for the remainder of the year. He had a solid start to the season, Jason. How does losing a guy like Mosiah impact the defensive front?
Well, I know for me, it's just kind of sad because I kind of miss having him around personally.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Like, I never had any complaints about him. But it just means that other people have to step up. So, I mean, like Keldric Faulk, the freshman, he's going to have to step up. It's like Kevius Walker, he's going to have to step up. He's going to get more snaps. We're going to have to move some stuff around. I don't know where, but we're going to have to move some stuff around because, the most important thing in this league is depth. If you don't have depth, then you don't got fresh players. And you don't got fresh players, and you can't put your best out there.
I think it's telling that the first player that he immediately went to was Keldric Faulk.
Yeah. We've seen a slow progression with Keldric through the first 5 games. We've seen him get a few more plays and a few more plays, and we have seen the explosiveness. And I'd love to stack up the number of plays side by side for Keldric and Mosiah. Mosiah with 10 tackles, half a tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hurries, as we mentioned. Faulk's statistics, 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 quarterback hurries. Really similar, almost exact from a numbers. Now, I understand it's more than just numbers.
Sure.
But in terms of those numbers, they're almost exactly the same as Mosiah's in, I would guess, significantly fewer plays.
Yeah, fewer plays for sure. And like you said, numbers are important, and we've gotten better at categorizing impact of defensive linemen than we used to, but still only, impact can be so many things because they're not going to chart double teams or penetration that bounces the back outside and then, whatever happens. So, you're right, though. Against UMass, Keldric Faulk played 13 snaps. Against Cal, 14. Against Stanford, 26. We're like, okay, here we go. Then A&M, it dropped back to 23. And then against Georgia, it was 16. You got to think it's going to get closer to the 20s if this is kind of what we're expecting, right?
Yeah, I think you're closer to those Samford numbers now. I think you're in the 25 range, give or take here and there. And that's, not quite half the plays, but I think you've got to have that from Keldric. And I think the expectation has been, anyway, he's so explosive and he has the potential to disrupt that you wanted to see his plays increase. You hate for it to happen this way, but I think there's a lot of confidence in what he can do filling in the gap.
The second name that Jason mentioned, who's in the meeting room with all these guys every day, Zacchaeus Walker, which we all love Zacchaeus Walker coming in. Kind of thought he was going to transfer and didn't, and I was glad that he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of him, despite hearing some pretty good reports out of fall camp about Zacchaeus Walker. What was your response when you heard Jason say that name?
Well, I noticed Zacchaeus on the field for more than one. I mean, like every play in the Georgia game, as you look back, could have been a critical play, but they didn't hesitate to put him in on first down, second down, to open drives. I think you've got the numbers in front of you, and I don't. But the number of play, how many plays did he have against Georgia?
9.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That's about what I thought it was, I guess.
I may have said a little more, honestly. I would have said probably low teens if I had to guess it blindly, but
Yeah.
15 against UMass, 7 against Cal, 11 against Samford, which is unique because a lot of these guys played more against Samford, so that's interesting. A&M, 12 snaps, and then Georgia was not the season low, but close to it. 9.
No, and that'll go up. Now we've loved his potential too, and I think maybe his numbers were lower in the Samford game because Keldric had 26. If Keldric has 20 plays and you give those to Zacchaeus, now he's up around 17, and it's a little more balanced, I guess, in that kind of scenario. But yeah, the teams you got coming up, LSU, Ole Miss, especially, there's a lot of balance in those offenses. You've got to have those guys on the end be able to do multiple things. They have to have multiple skill sets, and you got to have some explosiveness. And so,
well, Brad, especially when you look at Daniels, who will be their next opponent, you kind of want athleticism on the edge because they're going to have to contain, run him down, really, finish the play, if you will. And you may want a guy that has more of the athleticism of Keldric. I mean, obviously, you'd rather have both of them, right? But I mean, Keldric Faulk, it's his time. It's what it seems like. It's his time to see what he can be, and can he be this 5-star that Auburn added to the 2023 class?
Yeah, you got to be able to close. You got to have closing speed. You talked about finishing the play, and you got to. I mean, it's one thing to have explosiveness and be able to create a burst with the first step. It's another thing entirely when you force the quarterback out of the pocket and he's going to twist and turn and do everything that he can to avoid the actual tackle. Like, it doesn't mean anything unless you make the actual tackle.
Right.
So, that's what they've got to do.
Did you just tackle your camera?
I did. I got so fired up that I
love that. You just hit the mess out of your camera. All right.
Hey, wait. It's like I lined up in an overfront, Zach, and just had to attack from that.
What's an overfront?
An overfront is where your D tackles play the 1 technique and the 3 technique, and your defensive ends play in the 5 technique. Come on, Zach. Everybody knows that.
There you go. There you go. For the folks that watch multiple Auburn shows, they will get a kick out of that. I guarantee it. All right, let's move into Buy Sell, one of my favorite segments of the week. And Buy Sell is brought to you by our good friend, our great friends at Exit Realty Anchor South. Got to check out our friend, Ross Kilpatrick. He's the best in the biz as far as taking care of all of your real estate needs. He's serving the Auburn area with locations at Auburn, Lake Martin, and Fort Walton Beach, Florida. From Auburn, Lake Martin to the Emerald Coast of Florida, contact Ross Kilpatrick with Exit Realty South for all of your real estate needs. And of course, War Eagle from Ross. Brad, are you buying or selling this? Jalen McLeod is the Auburn player who benefits the most from this bye week.
Yes, because he's been running his motor at less than full speed. He's been running hot. He's been running fast. He's given his very best, and he has increased, I think, his explosiveness, his impact on the game, I think, has gone up every week. And now with the extra rest, and especially now with Mosiah Nasili-Kite, you got to have it on the other side. Yeah, I'm buying that. Yep, that's a good start.
Okay. Peyton Thorne has his season best against a Power 5 opponent regarding passing yards next week in Baton Rouge. It's a low bar, to be fair. It's a lower bar than we all would like.
So far, you're not saying that it will be his season best all year.
Just so far. Yep.
Oh yeah, I buy that.
Okay.
I buy that. Now, Ole Miss's balance helped them, and that actually works in Auburn's favor too. Ole Miss's ability to run the ball, set up their ability to pass the ball and make some big plays downfield. I think Auburn will work on that passing game significant. Like, that'll be the focus. And yeah, so I'm 2 for 2. I'm buying.
Okay. Are you buying or selling? And we'll probably get into this in the 6-pack to some extent. Missouri at least covers against LSU. Right now, I believe my bookie has it at 6.
Yeah. I do have that in the 6-pack. I will sell that. As much as I want to see LSU limp back to Baton Rouge and have nothing to play for next week, I just see too much talent there, and I'm not quite ready. Now, Missouri, this game could make me believe in Missouri, but not quite there yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Brad, buy or sell. Rivaldo Fairweather leads Auburn in targets for the rest of the season. He had 7 against Georgia.
Yeah.
I believe.
Leads in every game or leads overall?
The rest of the season.
All right. So
are you stalling?
No,
are
I'm
you
not
stalling right
I'm
now?
not stalling. I'm just I'm nitpicking. I'm going to sell. I think Jay Fair will wind up with will lead the way in targets the rest of the year.
Up to this point, Jay Fair has 27 targets on the season. Rivaldo has 19. Shane Hooks has 17.
Yeah.
Who finishes the year with more catches? I'm sorry, I need to phrase this in a buy or sell. Jair Shorter has more catches the rest of the way than Camden Brown.
Yeah, they're even at 1 right now.
Right.
That's really hard. I'll sell that because Camden has the most recent catch, and maybe if he continues to get closer to 100% and gets a few more targets and makes good on them, then I'll go Camden. So I will go sell on Jair having more than Camden.
All right. So that is the weekly buy sell segment brought to you by our friend Ross Kilpatrick, who calls you Law Dog. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm perfect. Yeah, I'm absolutely okay with that.
All right.
Next time I go to the beach and I want sun on my body the way it's hitting the top of my head right now, then I got to make sure to call Ross.
Oh, he'll take care of you. Serving the Auburn area with locations in Auburn, Lake Martin, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. From Auburn to Lake Martin to the Emerald Coast of Florida, contact Ross Kilpatrick with Exit Realty Anchor South for all of your real estate needs. War Eagle, you can call him at 334-402-0028. Time for a little 6-pack action.
Yes, indeed. Just because Auburn is not playing this weekend does not mean we'll deprive you of the 6-pack. And before we get into it, I got to tell you about our friends at MyBookie. You demand perfection is a better. And you know who delivers? MyBookie. That's who delivers. NFL, college football, brand new cash out system gives you options to bet and win all season long. You know, right now at mybookie.ag, Zach, they have, and I'm not making this up, this is not hyperbole, they have Hungarian water polo lines. Yeah.
You know, I've been looking for somebody who has that.
Have you?
So that's good.
Well, they've got it. And so many options here. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, you cash out early, use the funds on another bet, or let it ride. Chance a little bit of a bigger payday. You love letting it ride. Just join the MyBookie family and get in on the rest of the season with odds boosts, free bets, outstanding contests. You got bonuses right now up to $200 on first deposits. Just use the promo code NEXTROUND. Right? Promo code next round on a deposit of $50 or more, and you're going to get some bonus cash. Bet your deposit amount once. You're ready to cash out at any time again. That's promo code next round. Claim your cash deposit bonus. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right. Village Vice 6-pack. We're going to go chronologically here, Zach, as we typically do. 11 o'clock, 2 intriguing games in the 11 o'clock Central window Saturday. We'll start with the Red River rivalry. 12th ranked Oklahoma, 3rd ranked Texas. Texas 6.5-point favorite. Who you like?
Hook 'em. Texas is back. I'm all in on the Longhorns this year.
You're all in. All right, we're going to disagree right off the bat here. Oklahoma, number 1 in the Big 12 in scoring defense, number 1 in turnovers. That's the key. Number 1 in turnovers. I think they get a couple, and they're able to get the win.
All right.
Same time frame, 23rd ranked LSU, 6-point favorite against number 21, Mizzou. 2013 was the last time Missouri beat 2 top 25 opponents at home. This would be number 2. This is their biggest game there at Faurot Field since probably 2013.
I think Missouri's a good football team, Brad. I think LSU's a good football team. Is Missouri better than them? I say yes. I think Missouri wins. I think Missouri wins on Saturday.
We're 2 for 2 on disagreeing, man. I'm just not quite there yet. I don't know that they can run as effectively as, like, I think the Ole Miss running backs are good. I think they're legitimately good. Top 2-3 running back group in the SEC. And I don't know that Missouri can match that. And so I like LSU to get the win on the road.
Sure.
How about 2:30? Alabama is a 1.5-point favorite against Texas A&M. Here's a legitimate question. How is A&M not ranked? They were ranked before the season. Their only loss is to Miami, a team that's unbeaten and ranked number 17 this week. They cleaned Auburn's clock 2 weeks ago. They cleaned Arkansas's clock last week. How are they not ranked?
Yeah, I don't know how you can watch this A&M team and say there's 20 teams better than them. I just have a hard time buying that, especially when their quarterback goes down and the guy who comes in is putting up the same type of numbers. So the Aggies are a good football team. I'm taking Alabama. This line started at 3.5. It's slowly dropping. I think it's going to be pretty much a virtual push by the time they kick off on Saturday. I'm taking Alabama. It's hard to beat Nick Saban once. It's even harder to beat him twice in a row. So, yeah, I'm taking the Crimson Tide.
Yep. Hugh Freeze, the last guy to beat him twice in a row.
Yep. Love to see
this,
that.
I guess this wouldn't be twice in a row. This would be 2 times in 3 years.
That's right. You're right.
We're going to go 3 for 3. I think it happens because I think that Jalen Milroe's test in College Station is much more difficult than what he faced in Starkville a week ago. Cowbells or not, I think the personnel is different, and those defensive ends and linebackers that he's going to try to contend with are much more talented and athletic in College Station. And I like Texas A&M to make a statement win. This A&M team should win 10 games this year.
They're good enough to. They're talented enough to. And look, that defensive line, Auburn saw it firsthand a few weeks ago, and that's kind of something that Alabama's concerned about with their offensive front. So that could be the mismatch that decides it, Brad. Good call.
Yeah, absolutely. And quarterback hurries, quarterback pressures on both sides will be key because both lines are outstanding at pressuring the quarterback. Right. All right, at 6 o'clock, you got Kentucky in this week at number 20 and that big running game against number 1 Georgia. Now, Georgia's back at home, but they're 14.5. I'm a little surprised they're as big a favorite against Kentucky as they were at Auburn a week ago. Yeah. Any shot for the Cats to pull the upset?
There's a shot, sure. I mean, this is like the last real test for Georgia this year because I don't think Tennessee can do it. I think Kentucky's better than Tennessee right now. So I'm going with Georgia, but man, it'd be awesome if Kentucky could pull this off.
All right, let me give you a little stat on Ray Davis, okay? Reigning SEC co-offensive player.
He's unbelievable.
2 SEC games, 43 carries, 358 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Is that good, Brad?
It's very good against a Georgia team that just gave up over 2 bills to Auburn and a ground-focused offensive attack. Kentucky.
Are you calling the upset?
Kentucky, do it. Listen, hang on. Kentucky is the kind of team that can hold the ball for like 40 out of 60 minutes, put together 9-minute drives on the ground. I'm not picking them to win, though.
But you can talk yourself into it if you really had to. I get it.
It won't shock me if that's a game in the second half, though. Yeah. I mean, it won't shock me at all.
Sure.
How about 6:30? Let's go ACC. 10th ranked Notre Dame, a 6-point favorite at Louisville. Louisville is undefeated. They're 5-0. Last time they were 6-0 was 2013. Last time they sold out their stadium was 2019 against Notre Dame. Now they've got them again. Who do you like?
I like Notre Dame, and I like Notre Dame by a lot. I think they cover. That was one of my picks on another show earlier this week. Yeah, I love the Irish this week.
All right. Yeah. Louisville's undefeated. They've kind of squeaked by. I will say, I don't know how many times in a row Notre Dame can get up for these kind of games. I mean, they've got the mistake. Teams always want to beat Notre Dame because of who they are anyway. But now Ohio State, then Duke, now a ranked Louisville team. Can they keep punching back every time? I tend to agree they can this week. But at some point, they've got to have some kind of letdown.
Yeah, I also don't think Louisville should be ranked, Brad. Yeah. I mean, I know they've got like that. That's great for them, but I don't think Notre Dame's preparing for them in the same way. This is an Ohio State battle.
That's fair. All right, 9 o'clock. 15th ranked Oregon State at Cal. This is an affinity pick because we've seen Cal. We know Cal.
Yeah.
Oregon State's a 9.5-point favorite. This is the first of 5 straight games for Cal against top 20 opponents. Just
Wow.
a brutal stretch for the Golden Bears. But they're at home. Can they pull the upset at home? I like them at home. I think Cal gets the upset at home.
That'd be great for Auburn. Makes that win a little bit better. Maybe soups up your RPI just a bit. I think Oregon State wins. I think this is a good football team. I think Cal's going to be leaning over their skis a little bit when you compare them to the rest of the Pac-12 over the next few weeks. And this is just the start of it, Brad. So, yeah, give me the Beavers.
All right. So we disagree on 4 out of 6.
We always do.
Are we tracking these at all? Is there any kind of prize?
No,
Is there any?
No, there's not. There's not. Nope.
Okay, then.
But I'm so far ahead, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I think I had a good week last week.
I think you did too, actually. I think you beat me last week. But cool. Fun stuff. Hey, everybody enjoy their bye week. Hopefully you get some a full Saturday of stress-free football viewing and maybe get some stuff done around the house. Who knows? I'm going on a trip. I don't know what you're doing, Brad, but
love it. I may carve a pumpkin this weekend.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Brad, I think that just about does it for today's show.
It does. You got to have high goals. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Remember, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.